Life on Mars by Matthew Jackson. Amongst the dusty red world lie a few human creations. Scattered between mountains, canyons, craters, and inactive volcanoes are 6 unmanned robotic rovers. Curiosity and Perseverance are the only robots still active in their search for past Martian life. In our solar system's infancy, Mars and Earth were quite similar. Approximately one half the diameter of Earth, Mars used to have a magnetic field driven by geodynamics. The molten iron and nickel within the core of Mars protected the surface from charged particles, cosmic rays, and solar flares. In conjunction with other factors such as the presence of liquid water and a once thicker atmosphere, Mars may have once been habitable. Due to the size difference, Mars' core cooled much faster, and eventually allowed solar winds to strip away the majority of the atmosphere to 1/100th the pressure of Earth's. As it stands today, Mars is an irradiated, frozen desert, seemingly void of life, whilst Earth co-evolved through the Precambrian, Paleozoic, Mesozoic, and Cenozoic eras. Martian abiogenesis may have been possible. However, in contrast to Earth, it's important to note the short time frame of this world's magnetosphere. It's unclear as to the exact conditions on Mars for the first 400 million years, but we know it was to some degree wet. Erosion patterns are strong cases for liquid water to have flown from the poles. However, the extent to these volumes aren't exactly understood and are believed to have been periodic, although curiosity proved the existence of an ancient, persistent water presence within the Gale crater. Complex life on Earth as we know it required a substantial transformation of the atmosphere's composition. The ozone layer, crucial to minimizing DNA-destroying UV rays, is a product of coevolution. Planetary coevolution is the process of evolution between living species and inorganic matter. The Great Oxidation Event occurred approximately 2.5 to 2.1 billion years ago, in which microbial life, particularly algae and photosynthetic bacteria, convert carbon dioxide into oxygen. This oxygen, bonded in pairs as O2, is split by ultraviolet sunlight, in turn allowing for the formation of O3, the molecule responsible for the ozone layer and inherently Earth's habitable lithospheric conditions. The ozone layer absorbs UV light, in turn allowing for multicellular life formations, the Cambrian explosion, and eventually land-dwelling mammals. Mars simply wasn't capable of facilitating life long enough to co-evolve to this degree. This leaves a small window of opportunity for life to arise and virtually extinguishes any hope of the development of complex life. However, simple single-cellular life may have thrived. Studies suggest a plausible scenario for life to have arisen on Mars. The probes we have sent to Mars have been highly successful in uncovering the main necessary elements for life. Erosion patterns implicate water flow. Seismic data from the InSight lander implies a once molten iron core. NASA's Curiosity found hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, carbon, sulfur, and phosphorus, the building blocks of life. NASA's Mariner 9 photographed volcanoes facilitating geothermal energy. And in 2007, NASA's Spirit rover even found evidence of hot springs, where life may have begun on Earth. Large silicon deposits are indicative of geothermal water vents and hot springs. Minerals are dissolved into the water, heated, then brought back to the surface and deposited in a silicon bank. These minerals are essential to the formation of life, whilst the heat from the geothermal vent serves as a sustainable energy source. The implications of Mars being habitable, yet uninhabited, suggest the rarity of abiogenesis. It also alludes to the holes in our knowledge about how life arose on Earth. Stromatolite records are conclusive evidence of simple unicellular life and have been found in archaic hot spring beds on Earth. They are the earliest records made by life. The next sign of life is the presence of organic molecules and a greater mineral variety. Early Earth studies know roughly 400 minerals were present in the absence of life, whilst today there's over 5,000 unique minerals. Organic chemistry is theorized to have led to this diversity. Other biosignatures include changes in atmospheric composition, the presence of organic methane and oxygen, and organic soil. Biosignatures are a highly effective means in the search for extraterrestrial life. And that's what curiosity and perseverance are searching for right now. Unfortunately, no conclusive stromatolites have been found. Of the 5,000 minerals in Earth's crust, Mars only has the original 400. In accordance with the present knowledge, it's unlikely Mars ever sustained or harbored life. The implications of not finding life on Mars is astronomical. It's strong evidence that life is rare. If the two bodies within the habitable zone of their solar system harbor life, then life should be teeming through the universe, and we should expect it elsewhere. However, if life only exists on Earth, then there remains the issue of a sample size of 1.